Cities around the world are at a crossroads, choosing between projects that are easy to pull off and projects that could bring long-term benefits for many decades to come. In New York City's largest borough, Queens, that choice is happening right now. In the center of the borough lies an abandoned rail corridor known as the Rockaway Beach Branch. This abandoned line has been sitting unused for over 60 years, and a non-profit organization called QueensLink proposes reactivating this abandoned rail corridor for subway service, with 33 acres of park space and protected bike lanes built alongside it. Again, QueensLink includes both rails and trails. I have made an entire video explaining the benefits of QueensLink, but to sum it up, QueensLink will create the first north-south subway line in Queens, which has shown strong demand by the crowded buses and congested roads running along the same corridor. QueensLink will cut time off commutes for tens of thousands of Queens residents, which many have one of the longest commutes in the city, if not the entire nation. QueensLink will also include park space and protected bike lanes, providing Queens residents with more green space and safer last-mile travel options. QueensLink will also increase capacity on the Queens Boulevard line, one of the busiest subway corridors in the city. Last but not least, QueensLink will be cost-effective by using an existing right-of-way. No need for land acquisition and eminent domain, saving time and money. Sounds like a great project, right? Yet, like I said at the start, a long-term beneficial project like this often faces danger from being killed by cheap and easy-to-build projects. QueensWay, a competing vision, proposes to turn the abandoned corridor into a park, with zero considerations of future rail reactivation. What is even more concerning is how close QueensWay is to becoming a reality, as it has been supported and partially funded by New York City's former mayor Eric Adams. And despite voicing support for QueensLink before becoming mayor, QueensWay seems to have remained on the first city budget of New York City's current mayor, Mamdani. If nothing happens, the first phase of QueensWay, the Metropolitan Hub, will start construction in June 2026. You might say, wait, why can't we build the park first and build the transit later? Well, to answer that, you have to know how difficult it is to ever build transit again if the park is built first. In the 1990s, people in Atlanta wanted to reuse an abandoned freight rail line to build a trail, with the transit line alongside it. Similar to what QueensLink is trying to do in New York right now, this was known as the Bell Line. However, the city decided to fund the trail and park first, and said, we'll leave space for transit to be built later. And that's what happened. The trail and park were built, and space was preserved for a future transit line. However, 20 years later, when the city wanted to build a transit, it got pushed back by the community. People have gotten used to the status quo of the park and trail, and do not want a transit added to the corridor that would mean changing the landscape in their eyes. So the light rail that was literally shovel-ready was stalled due to the opposition. As you can see, even though space was technically left for the rail on the Bell Line, it didn't make it easier to build later. If we build a QueensWay first, it will make it extremely difficult to ever reactivate transit service on the line. Bell Line wasn't able to do it with space left for rail, not to mention the QueensWay plan doesn't save space for rail at all. Given how hard it is to build rail later with trails and parks built first, and how close QueensWay is to becoming a reality, the clock is ticking for QueensLink. The good news is, the fight is not over. QueensLink has just released an initial business case and ridership report. The study has found that the QueensLink corridor will increase subway ridership by 75,000, remove 4.7 million car trips from the road annually, and reduce CO2 emissions by 7,200 tons. The study has also quantified many of the benefits I mentioned earlier, like savings in commute times. I can go on about the quantified benefits in these reports, but that will make this video way too long. If you are interested, you can read the reports with the link in the description below. Hey, this is Scott from UrbanMan. If you made it this far, I'm pretty sure you're convinced that QueensLink is a beneficial project. With the benefits of QueensLink quantified, it makes a better case to sell to politicians. QueensLink has just launched a new letter writing campaign. If you have been convinced, use the link in the description below to write a letter to Mayor Mamdani and other New York City officials. If we don't get our voice heard now, The QueensWay project is going to start construction in June, which is only over 2 months away, and a project that can save commutes for tens of thousands of commuters, take millions of cars off the road, and provide much needed park space and protected bike lanes will be gone. Please sign a letter and remember, go to QueensLink and absolutely no way with QueensWay.